What's up, boys? So a couple of days ago, TheActman uploaded a video about console fanboys, and he was kind of making fun of them and complaining about how annoying he thought they were. Kind of what I do and what Fritanga does, only he put it all in like one big video. And of course, PlayStation fanboys were fucking upset and they immediately went onto Twitter to complain about it. So let's take a look at some of the complaints, shall we?
Your thumbnail and video title made it seem you would cover both PlayStation and Xbox fanboys' ridiculousness equally, but you spent like 90% of the video on PlayStation fanboys. If you named your video PlayStation fanboys, I wouldn't have a problem with it, to be honest. Is it console warriors when you didn't include these? You specifically targeted PlayStation fanboys, he didn't mention a single Xbox fanboy the whole video. Before I watch TheActman's video, does he also attack Xbox fanboys? Cause if not, I'm not wasting my time. And I'm asking because all I've been seeing is PlayStation fanboys pointing out they were mentioned. Haven't seen any Xbox point it out.
Now, while it's true that most of the video was about PlayStation fanboys, TheActman did in fact mention Nintendo and Xbox fanboys as well. The main reason why most of his video is about PlayStation fanboys is why I make most videos on my channel about PlayStation fanboys, is because they're the most vocal and the most annoying. And there's just more of them. Like, how many Xbox fanboy YouTube channels do you know about? Right, there is Cold Eastwood, Dealer Gaming, and that's it. And for PlayStation YouTube channels, I'm sure I could name like maybe 12 or something off the top of my head, and there are probably way more than that. That's the reason why he mainly talked about PlayStation fanboys. They're more annoying, they're more vocal, and there just are more of them than Xbox fanboys. This doesn't mean that he didn't talk about Xbox fanboys. And the main reason why you don't see a lot of Xbox fanboys pointing out on Twitter that they were mentioned in the TheActman video is because one, either they didn't care, or two, they thought it was funny. Like, you did have people like J-Rock tweeting about how funny he thought the video was and how happy he was that he was mentioned in it. Xbox fanboys just kinda took the joke better than PlayStation fanboys. PlayStation fanboys got really mad, and that drove them to do some pathetic shit, to be honest. They started going through TheActman's tweets from like 5 years ago and using them to try and cancel him. Now obviously these tweets are pretty bad. He typed out the N-word on Twitter, you guys. Very bad. Nah, but all joking aside, they are pretty bad. But you do have to keep some things in mind. First of all, this was 5 years ago and it kind of was a different time. You might be like, oh, but how different could it have been 5 years ago? Well, you do need to keep in mind that 5 years ago it was acceptable to use the N-word as a joke on YouTube. The most popular creators 5 years ago were people like Leafy, Filthy Frank, and iDubbbz. It was a different era on the internet, one that I personally preferred because you could say whatever the fuck you wanted and people wouldn't, hold it against you. But the second thing you have to keep in mind here is that they did have to go back 5 years into TheActman's Twitter to even find those tweets, which to me suggests that he hasn't fucking made a tweet like that in the past 5 years, which would kind of suggest to me as well that he has changed. Some people don't believe that he's changed, I don't know why. If someone made a racist remark 5 years ago and hasn't made a racist remark since then, that would suggest to me that he has changed, because, he stopped doing it. If he didn't change, he probably would have still been making jokes like that till this fucking date. Anyway, TheActman ended up apologizing for those tweets, and then fanboys were still not happy about the apology.
This man, TheActman, decided to attack black content creators on Black History Month for a reason. Now we know why.
Shut the fuck up, J-Dub. No, he didn't attack black people on Black History Month. He attacked PlayStation fanboys, some of which were black, yes. But what, are you not allowed to make fun of any black people during Black History Month? Is that automatically racist if you do that? I didn't even know it was fucking Black History Month. But it's so funny to me that these people, these fucking fanboys, the second they get criticized or made fun of, they immediately pull the victim card and try to make you look like you're racist. Fucking King Trash does the same thing. When he said that volcanoing was a new way of saying the N-word. It's fucking pathetic, honestly. No one attacked you for your skin color. People attacked you for your lack of a brain.
Don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. You can't dish it out and complain when people clap back.
What the fuck is this shit? TheActman made fun of you PlayStation fanboys for being retarded on the internet. And as a response for that, you call him racist and try to get him cancelled on the internet and basically ruin his career. And that is clapping back. What did he do to you? Besides disagree with the fact that PlayStation is the superior console. He basically just said you guys are retarded, and what you do on the internet makes no sense and you're pathetic. And your response is to be pathetic and retarded on the internet. Great job, great fucking job. Oh, but he made jokes back when you were still allowed to make jokes. Yeah, he did. And I'll admit the jokes went a bit too far. They went too far. They weren't really okay. But he did it during a time when those jokes were fully accepted on the internet, and he hasn't made a joke like that in the past 5 fucking years. This wasn't 4 years ago. Now let's have a look at that tweet, shall we? I find it interesting that you are throwing stones at me while also being part of a religion that wants to kill homosexuals. Now, first of all, it's been taken out of context. This is a reply to somebody else, which we don't know what that person says. Now, even without the context, it's very clear to me that somebody here was throwing stones at TheActman, so like judging him or criticizing him or whatever. And then TheActman thought it was kind of hypocritical because the person who was judging him is part of a religion that kills homosexuals. Now, last time I checked, that is most religions on Earth. I have nothing against religious people, practice whatever religion you want, but you cannot deny that almost all religions are incredibly homophobic and sexist. So yeah, I don't see what's wrong with this tweet at all. It is a fact. Most religions don't like homosexuals, and in places where religions hold a lot of power, like for example in the Middle East, homosexuals or gay people do in fact get killed for being gay. It's not a secret. It's fact. But anyway, it's kind of funny to me that it's, PlayStation fanboys of all people who are judging TheActman for being homophobic and racist, because they've said some fucked up shit themselves and they continue to say fucked up shit till this fucking day. Like, especially homophobic, these fanboy communities for some reason have been very homophobic for quite a long time. I can remember I used to watch these PlayStation fanboy videos back in like 2016 when Bulletberry and Rags used to do them. And Rags used to get quite a lot of homophobic slurs thrown at him by the PlayStation fanboys that he used to make fun of. So that's and they still do this to this day. Like, if you saw my last video on The Amazing Lucas, like, I don't want to say that The Amazing Lucas is like homophobic or whatever, but he said some shit in that video, like where he says that Xbox fanboys are gay, and for some reason that means that they're less intelligent. So, I'm not saying he's homophobic, but it's not a good look. But yeah, no, they continue to do very fucked up shit. Like, as most of you probably know, Fritanga's father died like about a month ago, I believe. And PlayStation fanboys started making memes about it, which is very fucked up. And just, those people have no souls, they're pathetic. They probably also don't have a job or a girlfriend or a house, so... Honestly, I'm just getting fucking depressed talking about this shit at this point. This is not a fun video. I'm literally not having fun right now. This is so fucked up and I don't like any of this. It's just like PlayStation fanboys for some reason can't take a joke. So then they just have to go out of their way to like destroy other people's lives or make fun of like their dead family members. Like, you know how many fucking PlayStation fanboys tweeted at TheActman that he was like racist or homophobic, and then they got called out for also being racist and homophobic, and it wasn't like tweets from 5 years ago, it were like tweets from like 2 weeks ago, where they said some fucked up shit. It's insane. Anyway, boys, I'm done with this shit, honestly. TheActman didn't do anything wrong, he just made fun of some fanboys, and then they tried to call him out for his tweets that he made 5 years ago, and then he apologized for them, and then they acted like retards. So yeah, this is the end of the video. If you liked this somehow, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully will be a lot more fun. Goodbye.